All right, so I'm here for two reasons. The first reason is because I am a black gay man, and any issue that occurs that I feel like calls for a discussion around the way that we have to navigate the world as black gay men, or just our experiences, coming out or on the basketball court, in the barbershop, in churches, whatever. I like to be able to chime in on those things. And secondly, because, well, I've always had a little crush on Dwight Howard. And this person who's outing him or whatever mess that you're doing, bitch, you done fucked up. See, you fucking it up for me now. And I have to chime in on this to add some levity to the situation for my boo. So let's get this thing going. I'm playing, but I'm serious. No, but okay, so of course, if you have been following the story, Dwight Howard is a pretty popular NBA player, and he allegedly has been involved in some capacity with an almost transgender presenting gay man. It's a mess. I don't even know where to start, but we just gonna dig. And I had to make notes because it's too much for a Sunday morning, bitch. I can't deal with it. Okay, so first of all, the person who is attempting to expose him is this person named Masin Elije. And bitch, what type of name is that? Okay, I don't know what on earth would make somebody talk to somebody named Masin Elije. Okay, bitch, if I was out at a club or somebody popped up in my DMs with that name, I would immediately throw some holy water at the screen because that name sounds like the devil. That just sounds like drama. There's some Instagram DMs, and they are basically going back and forth a little bit about whether or not Dwight Howard is out the closet. Dwight is kind of not having it. I found this and I read this whole thing because I mean, anytime it's something that has to do with a like a gay athlete, especially in the NBA or the NFL, I'm like, damn, because we saw with people like Michael Sam, how much of an issue that is. And I mean, it would be very nice in 2018 to have an out, gay NBA player, especially a black one. But this whole situation has proved that there is a long way to go. So, okay, back to this. This Mason person, originally said that they and Dwight had started having a conversation in the, through fake Instagram accounts. So my question immediately when I saw this was, okay, so if you started the conversation in a fake Instagram account, why did it not continue there? Like, why is it like, it was just weird. Like, that immediately rubbed me the wrong way. I still don't know how I feel about that, but I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, so then the queen, if you scroll down on her Twitter account, what? Okay, when I say her and the queen, I'm talking about this gay dude. I don't know if you might be straight watching this video, whatever, but that's just how we refer to messy queens. Queen's messy, all right, and that's just how gay men talk sometimes. So anyway, if you scroll down on her Twitter feed or whatever, there is a video, several videos that they posted about the conversation. So this first conversation was one where some people say it didn't even sound like Dwight Howard, but this is a conversation where she basically was just like accusing him of whatever. Anyway, just listen to it real quick.
It's HIV out there. It's herpes out there. It's other STDs out there. And you're going to sex parties fucking people raw. Like, what type of fucking man did your mother raise you to be a man like that? Did your father raise you to be a man like that? Yeah, my gosh. That's all you can say. And you know that I'm not lying, because if I was lying, you would say, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. You're lying. And you know I'm not lying. Just keep it real.
Most people have to fight for credibility of who they are. I don't have to do that, but I know who I am.
No. Oh, my God. I literally have been speaking to you for, oh my God. I've been speaking to you for some time now, Dwight. I sent you nudes of me, Dwight. I sent you nudes in general, Dwight. You told me that you wanted to be fucked in your ass, Dwight. You told me that you want to suck dick, Dwight. You have been flirting, Dwight. You knew what I was, Dwight. So what the fuck are you talking about? Am I lying?
I don't remember none of that.
Oh, you got amnesia. Oh my God, you have amnesia. That's a damn shame, Dwight.
Alright, so first we know the bitch ain't shit because that smoke detector in the background chirping. Any bitch who don't keep a fresh battery in that smoke detector ain't shit. I know that from experience. Because there was a time when I wasn't shit. I kept a squeaky smoke detector. Alright, so like I said, in that phone call, like a lot of people said that didn't sound like him. And like, I mean, of course, like I'm a Dwight Howard fan for a lot of reasons. I know what my man sound like. That, I don't think that was him. But I don't know, maybe he got a little cold or something. I don't know. A couple tweets down, this person tweets, I didn't know it was him. You know, she said, it turns out it wasn't Dwight. He just my man through the TV. And I know his voice when I hear him. Sounds a little suspect to me. This person got even more messy. They brought in like, they just was just saying a whole bunch of stuff. Like they brought in like another trans woman from Atlanta. We don't know who the trans woman is. They just brought the trans woman in and said that like the trans woman was doing like some sex work. Now see, there you go meddling in their affairs. You sitting up there telling us about their understanding. You brought them in that. She's not nowhere to be found. You know why? Because she's trying to keep getting paid. And you know what she's doing with that money she's getting? She's buying fresh batteries for her smoke detector and minding her business. This person just kept on tweeting, and apparently got a call from the pastor. This is allegedly Dwight Howard's pastor. This is that phone call where the pastor was like, bitch, we gonna find you and we gonna whoop your ass.
The kid, no, we're going to expose you. You have to catch this. And at the end of the day, how we know what you got ain't Photoshop? How we know what you are? We can't even believe what you are. You a goddamn man with a wig on. We can't even believe your personality. Let alone what the heck you doing.
Wow.
You're a goddamn freak. That's what you are. You a freak and the truth ain't in.
Wow.
Now, the next faggot that you lay down with, bend over and tell him that.
Wow.
There ain't nobody gonna bump with you. You done lost your cotton ticket mind.
Wow.
That's why you never talked to Dwight, sucker. That's why you never heard from Dwight, sucker. That's why you ain't never been flown nowhere. Because if you knew anything about Dwight, he doesn't have an appetite. Now, for women, if you don't fit that deal, that's a hard pill to swallow, boy.
No, it's not. I can respect
Yes,
it.
it is, son. Yes, it is, son.
I can respect it. But you see how upset you are?
Exactly. So there ain't no but nothing. Shut up.
Ain't it too much? It's too much. I don't even know. I can't even keep up with all this. So supposedly that's the pastor. Now this queen is playing the victim, and tweeted after that phone call, and she tweeted that she was having a whole bunch of anxiety. You know, she's scared for her life, all this type of stuff. Just it's so exhausting. And then she called Dwight Howard a 6'11" bottom. So you are suffering from anxiety and fearing for your safety, but you ain't calling the police. You ain't filing no reports. You ain't calling none of your cousins. You on Twitter talking shit. All right. I wrote down some notes. So she also, around Thanksgiving, she outed her mom, like not out of the closet or whatever, but like she recorded a phone call that her mom cussed her out or whatever, and that phone call is out too. That went viral through the news because she was like, "Oh, my mama don't love me. My mama, is very toxic. My mama called me a faggot," or whatever she said. That went viral. Things aren't clicking. This person just wrote a book, I think 2 months ago. It's pinned right at the top of that Twitter account. And this is all for her come up. I mean, let us all be clear. This is just for a personal come up. And I think people need to call this person out on it. As a matter of fact, I think a couple of people have. This person seems to have a habit of trying to start mess. Now, to bring this home, let's talk about Dwight Howard. He's done a lot of suspect things. And I mean, I am a black gay man, so I understand it. This is not me being messy or anything. I'm just putting information out there because the information is out there already. Okay? There's this one video. Check this out.
On the other end, we got some stops. Our D was good tonight, so we got to make sure our D stay good.
Before the game, Kent Bazemore told me it's too far into the season to allow 2 losses back-to-back. If you agree with that, how important is that win?
Oh, it's very important, but it starts with the D. So we got to make sure we keep playing defense.
Then there's this other video, which, I mean, it's been out for years. Some people may have seen it, but if not, look at this.
I was talking to him. Doc Rivers felt that Josh Smith dribbled it once and then...
Is the down low in our community real? Yes. Do I agree with it? No. But I understand. And it's clear that sexuality is an open secret in the black community. And it's also clear that, you know, Dwight probably has some issues that he needs to work through, or perhaps he already has, and he doesn't think it's anybody else's business. And in that case, I think that he needs to be a better judge over the type of motherfuckers that he's out here giving his phone number and access to himself to. Because the minute that I would have saw that motherfucker's name and I would have got on the phone with him the first time and heard that fire alarm in the background chirping, I'd have said, bitch, I'll call you back, and I would have blocked that bitch ASAP. It wouldn't have even gotten that far. So there are a combination of elements at play in this particular situation. None of this is new. And I'm not talking about this for scandal. I'm talking about this because it's something that is on everybody's mind, and I think it needs to be on people's minds more, that gay black men, we aren't, you know, living in limited variety. We have existed from the leaders of churches, because a lot of these pastors are gay, even the ones who get up in these pulpits every Sunday talking about y'all are going to hell because y'all be laid up with men, and then they go back to the Marriott down at the Koja Convention and they swallowing 12-inch dicks, guzzling, coming, all that type of stuff. They're doing the same thing they telling other people not to do. The same applies for these basketball players, you know, out here calling people punks and faggots, and then they go back to their room with some of their players. And let's keep it real. The NBA is huge. The NFL is huge. The NHL is huge. All these different sports organizations are huge. And the WNBA is not the only one that has more than a handful of gay players in it. And I wish that somebody was courageous enough to come out and say this is what it is, and not some bullshit player that don't get to play in games. I'm talking about somebody who gets in these games and scores 40, 50 points a game, because it's got to be at least 1 or 2. And that motherfucker probably scored her 50 points and go home, sit on his plush couch with a pair of stilettos on, laughing, drinking beer with his boo. But he does it quietly. And I wish that we lived in an environment and in a society where people could just come right out and say it. Because then once they did, they would, you know, men who watch these games would have to confront how it is that they think about sexuality, how they think about gay men. And it will probably help some of them come out of the closet. You know, now realistically, can some of them come out? Yes, but realistically, no. Because if you're making $30, $40, $50 million a year and you're taking care of kids and families, and you're used to, you know, lavish trips and a lavish lifestyle, and you know that in one of those sports organizations coming out can hinder your career and affect your career, would you destroy that? Absolutely not, because we still live in a very ignorant society. And I don't understand how black people can be homophobic. How can you be homophobic when you know we are the most discriminated against in this country or anywhere? We should be the biggest beacons of light and freedom for anybody who's not treated fairly. We got some nerve, and that's something that we need to deal with, because gay men, especially in the black community, have always existed, and we aren't just doing hair, we aren't just voguing in the middle of the street, we aren't just fashion designers, we aren't just the garnish to your heterosexual lifestyle. We have been leaders. If you look at the March on Washington for Jobs and Equality that Martin Luther King gave his speech at, Bayard Rustin, who was an openly gay black man in the 60s, organized that for Dr. King. James Baldwin, one of the greatest black intellectuals that we have ever seen, was a black gay man. You know, and on down through history, from the church on down to the basketball court, we have existed. And people just need to deal with it. This isn't nothing new. So I don't know why people are acting surprised. I think that this is tacky, the way that this has come out. You know, I think that, you know, that tacky queen who put that information out there, I hope that bitch don't sell a book. Shut the bitch down, because that was just messy, and you made gay black men everywhere look bad, and you're just a nasty person. But I hope that people have a more compassionate view of sexuality and what that experience is like for a lot of men who aren't able to come out the closet, who aren't able to date both men and women, or be open and honest about whatever it is that they want their love style to be. And we need to deal with that, because we are adults. And some of the stuff that y'all be sitting up tweeting about, you can tweet about that shit about eating ass and all this type of stuff, but you can't have a realistic conversation about sexuality. Please grow up. I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there in the pot, because it's a real issue, and it's sad that we're still having this conversation. But apparently, it's a very important one, and I hope that we continue to have it, find some clarity, and move on, and just learn to be accepting of all people, so that this isn't a scandal, and that people who are hiding don't have to hide. It can just be. Just wanted to put my 2 cents out there. Thank you for watching. Please take care of yourself and learn to live with and deal with the truth, because we need it.